The things go bang, they go bang.
Some people know me for doing a wee bit of this, a wee bit of that, and a wee bit of this. Travelling the length and breadth of the country, capturing the history, the mystery, and the beauty of Ireland. But on Sunday the 1st of May 2022, things took a turn for the worse, ending up in the hands of the NHS's finest. So began a full evaluation of life and how to turn my dream into a reality. This is my journey, how I got from here to here.
Welcome to Donegal! Cheap man.
So it's Sunday morning, we're back in the van, surprisingly. So last night, sitting doodling around the house, it dawned on me that there was a lot of things that I hadn't done yet before I actually put the roof up. I have a list here of things that I think need to be done. So, if we tackle the back of the back doors, we'll put the insulation on the top of it, and then we'll run the conduit for the cables. Well, the extra battens I've left in the shop, so I'm not going to be able to do that. So this is the top of the back doors. In a previous video I created these, and these were for the wood to clip into. I have some of this 6mm dodo mat left. It's an insulation. It's going to make a smooth finish. It'll cover all them holes and stuff up there, and then when the carpet goes over the top, it'll be completely smooth. It'll be one big smooth surface, hopefully. That's the plan in theory. Whether or not that happens, I don't know. Not too much bend in that. There's not too much bend in any of them. I have these other ones here, there's a bit of bend in these, but they're a bit thin. I'm just wondering if I put two of them up. It's the right thickness out. There's a bit of bend, a wee bit of bend in that. They're more or less the same thickness if I put two of these up. And a wee tiny bit of a bend in that. But how am I going to screw these? If I screw them to the panel, they're going to crack right down the middle. Decisions. Oh, that should bend. That goes up like that. The tongue and groove will just screw right into that. It's just enough to stop the end of the tongue and groove flapping about. That's basically all it is. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to stay up. Perfect. So that's the batten up and secured. When I put the tongue and groove up, it'll now be flush. Everything's going to be flush. There's a wee bit of give in that, but that's okay because the curvature of the tongue and groove anyway are going to hold all that into place. Step one is done. This is the part I've been dreading. The electrics. I've been putting it off because they're absolutely scaring the life out of me. But they have to go in, and that's it. So I have a list of things where I think things are going to go. So I have the 12-volt cable. I have the 240 for the sockets and the plugs, things like that. I also got a couple of sockets, the back of the sockets, or the socket housing, is that what they're called? The socket housing, because I think a plug's going to go here and one's going to go over there. So I'm going to run the cables to them. That's 240, of course. And the LED lights, which will go into the roof. There's actually quite a length of cable with it. So there's going to be 6 of them on the roof. And this little gadget that came with it. I was going to wire them all together, but it says do not wire these things together. We're going to this little housing thing. The 12-volt cable will attach to that and run along the van and feed back to the leisure battery. That's the theory. That's what I've took out of it. And anything that I haven't got here, i.e. the fan, the solar panel inlet, I'll just run a bit of string to, and we'll take it from there. And if things go bang, they go bang. I'm not too sure where they're going to go yet, because I need to get the roof up first. So the idea is 1 there, 2, 3, 4, and 2 in the middle of the bedroom. That sort of thing, you know. But we'll start at the top and we'll work our way down, and we'll color code everything. So the color tip is to color code things. I'll just take a note of what things are, and at the end of each cable I'll just write down what they are and sellotape it to the end of it. That's the best I could. That's the plan. Now the cabling, I fitted a bit of cable before down one of these conduits. It absolutely cuts the fingers off you, there's no doubt about it. It is aching. So I remember my wee lad had some sort of a clearing stick tube, whatever you want to call it, for his air rifles and or BB guns, or whatever they're called. So when they get jammed, he shoves that down the barrel. I'm hoping to do something similar with a conduit, because I am not sitting opening that up. It cuts the fingers completely off you. So here goes now. We'll give it a go and see what happens. So we've got the first 3 feeds in. We've got the feed for the LEDs along the window and the 2 bedroom walls. We've got the feed in for the puck lights, and we have the feed in for the USB chargers. One is going to go there and one is going to go there. I must have done it probably the most hardest way possible until I had a brainstorm. This is some sort of yoke painters and decorators use. It's for when they're looking for a straight line to start off wallpaper. I tied a big load of string to this. I hung the conduit out of my bedroom window and I dropped this down it. It does take a wee bit of shoveling about to get it to the bottom. It does get stuck. But when you pull the string back up and release it again and give it more gravity or more weight, it does make it to the bottom. It's a lot quicker and it's a lot less hassle, and it's sure as hell less painful on the friggin' fingers, I can tell you that. I need to run the cabling for the fan, so I've got the string in it. It's just a question of putting it in and getting it down to the bottom. I'm going to run the conduit to where I think the fan is going to go. The string is going to be left in it, and when that time comes to buy that fan and fit it, it's just a question of putting the cable through it and pulling it through. All fun and games till someone gets hurt. Another wee tiny bit of progress. Oh Jesus. Oh yeah. So these are the housing for the plugs. I didn't bother buying the front of them because I would like some sort of chrome sockets, that sort of thing, because down this pillar here, that's all going to be carpeted, or that's all going to be carpeted down here. So the chrome and the dark blackies, it's not black, there's a name for it, I can't remember what name it was, I can't even pronounce it to be honest with you. So I think a plug here on this side and a plug there on that side with the USBs just above it, because the bed's going to be here, and it just means if you're laying in bed you can always plug your laptop in, things like that, and of course the other one to charge the drone. My hands are absolutely cut to shreds on the end of this conduit, whatever it's called. I'm not sure, that's for sure. So when you're feeding the cables in there, that is just ripping along your fingers. Hence the reason why the brainstorm, hanging out the window. Drop this yoke, drop this thing here down it with a bit of string on it, and just shuffle it on down, and it's just a question of pulling the cable through. I wish to God I had thought of that earlier on, but every day is a school day. So the only thing that's baffling me here at the minute is up at the front is where the battery is, just below that seat, and that is where the split charger relay is going to be housed, or that's where the split charger relay will be run from. It'll be run the whole way up along here and down into this section here where the leisure battery is going to be. That is going to be our main source of 12 volt power, which is going to charge all this stuff here. But the cables are pretty thick. I think they're maybe they're 10 mil or 16 mil, and that is 20 mil conduit. So I'm just wondering, do I need 2 of these up there? And if that's the case, that is the 2 for it, although this one here is a half of another one. The other bit of conduit I have in the house with a string through it, I'll feed that through. And if that's the case where you get one cable, one string of conduit, I'll feed that R1 through now, but I'm going to have to go and research that, because the cables are pretty thick. So I need to go and see if we're going to get one cable into one bit of 20 mil conduit, or 2 bits of conduit for 2 cables. But other than that, it didn't do too bad. I'm going to stick these plugs in, or I'm going to cut the cable off of these plugs. It must be near dinner time, and I'll go and find out if we need 2 bits of that conduit for up there, or we're going to get away with a single bit. I'll see what happens. So we're coming towards the end of the wiring process. This is going to be the one for the fan. I have lots of cable left, so ideally I was just going to put a bit of string up it and just pull it through when that time comes, but we'll do it now, and that's out of the road. So I have one more cable to pull through, which will be the 240 volt, and it's going to go here. That's the other plug, and hopefully we will test these things in the morning. It has been an educational day learning these 12 volt things. Let's just hope my 12 volt electrical diploma of YouTube holds out. Saying that there, I still had to get a friend down to show me how to splice a wire. It was just baffling me how to never doing it. But 5 minutes and it all sort of hit home exactly on how to do it, you know. I just couldn't understand how to get the LED light from there to there to run the negative and the positive to keep it all in one circuit. But yeah, every day is definitely a school day. So that'll just sit, I'll just keep that along the roof like that and feed it down the conduit. And when the time comes to get the max fan, that cable would have been fitted. It's just a question of cutting the holes in the roof and fitting it in. So I'm going to run that down the back. So I'll just cut this conduit so that just tucks in on top, and this cable will just sit here dormant, and I'll be able to close the roof in now. And when I do get the fan, it's just a question of cutting the hole, putting on the clips and connect it up to the fan. So this is the final cable. This is a 240. There's going to be a plug here. Oh, it's stuck somewhere. So that is it. Just turn it up out of the way. Right. I am absolutely knackered. That is it. that is it. Done. I'm so relieved that is done. Yes, I am done. It's about 10 to 8 in the morning, and we have been up from around about 6:30. There's a few wee odds and ends I need to do before we can finally get this roof up. I need to test the electrics as well. It's not going to rain today, which is a major plus. So we're just going to crack on here, so we'll see how all that goes. So that's that hammer out, completely dried. Smooth enough. I'm now going to bubble wrap these pillars. Put a lot of insulation down this pillar. I have the other one done. So this one is going to have to, I'm going to have to stuff this one as well. So I'm going to have to run a bit of conduit down the centre of the pillar for the cigarette lighter, because one is going here and one is going there somewhere. So this one here is for the cigarette lighter, the USB charger actually, and the conduit's going to have to go to there. So I'll do that now, and saving the insulation for down the back of the doors. But a lot of people saying that these are some sort of air pockets and that the doors will not close properly if they are covered. There's a lot of air in this fan, like, I'm not too sure about that. I'm going to have to go and look that up. So that's going to have to be spliced into that. So I'm calling 62 inches by 9.5. One down, one to go.
So this is the 12-volt cable for the puck lights in. The blue one is the USB chargers. The yellow one is for the LED lights above the window in the dining area and also the bedroom. And this is what I was saying about the string. This is for the solar panel inlet. When the time comes to fit them, I will attach the cable from the other end, pull the string right through, and that will save me having to remove any cladding from the roof. Finally, the 240 volt cables for the plugs. This is this stage of the van build done.